The blood that runs through the human body is mostly perceived to be red. However, there is much more than what meets the eye. The blood is made up of cells and fluids that must be produced in proportionate quantities and in a healthy state to enable the body to function properly. Ofori takes a look at the essential components of humans.
Blood is a body fluid in humans that delivers essential nutrients and oxygen to organs and cells while transporting metabolic waste products away from those same cells. It plays a vital role in the immune system of humans and in maintaining a relatively constant body temperature. The blood is made up of plasma, red blood cells, which gives the blood its color due to its dominance, the white blood cells, and platelets. These are mainly produced from the bone marrow. The lymph nodes, spleen, and liver to an extent produces blood cells or help to mature them.
When we breathe in, we are breathing in oxygen, and the oxygen is used by the various tissues and cells of the body for functioning. They need it to stay alive. So the red blood cells have this ability to carry oxygen. So they are like the transporters of oxygen around the body. The white cells are more or less like the soldiers of the body. They protect the body against foreign invaders like disease pathogens and all of that. And then we have the platelets. The platelets are responsible for making sure you don't bleed out. So if you have a cut or something, the platelets come into play. They plug the place up and prevent you from bleeding. But the function of preventing you from bleeding is not just in the hands of the platelets. The plasma, as I said, which is the liquid component of the blood, also has certain proteins in it. We call them coagulation factors. And these coagulation factors help the platelets to form the clots that you see anytime you have a cut or something.
These blood components must be produced in adequate quality and quantity, otherwise a blood disorder may occur which could either be malignant, that is cancerous, or not.
Some of the malignant ones we know about are what we call the leukemias. We also have the lymphomas. We have the myelomas. Okay. In these conditions, we have abnormal proliferation of either the cells that make up the blood-forming organs or the blood cells themselves. In leukemia, what it means is that when you hear leukemia, what it means is that your white blood cells are overproducing. It's like you are producing too many of your white blood cells. And what you are producing are not normal. They are malignant. They are cancerous. The lymphomas are tumors or overproductions or production of cells in the blood-forming organ. And I talked about myeloma. In myeloma, you have abnormal proliferation of one of the cells that is usually produced in the bone marrow and is responsible for producing antibodies. Antibodies also help it's a type of white blood cell. Antibodies help to fight against infections and foreign invaders.
Each of the blood cells have a lifespan which must not be compromised midstream.
Whenever the bone marrow produces a red blood cell, its lifespan is about 120 days. And then it gets destroyed and new ones are produced. But there are certain disorders. They fall under a category of anemias we call the hemolytic anemias. And with these people, those who have these chronic hemolytic anemias, their red blood cells don't last the 120 days.
Some disorders present with anemia, deafness, painless swellings on any part of the body, night sweats in cold temperatures, skin itching, and weight loss. Chemotherapy is the main treatment for blood disorders and ultimately bone marrow transplant. Aromatic compounds found in the burning of plastics and petroleum products and the inhalation of liquefied petroleum gas, as well as a weak immune system, predispose one to cancerous blood disorders. Ofori, GBC 24, Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, Accra.